aqui é Clara 7 e sejam bem-vindos a um joguito, um vídeo patolita de Dungeons 2! Não sei porque é que diz isto dois shots, mas ok. Vamos aqui a campanha. Este choquito é tipo copacate.
Once upon a time there was a kingdom full of flowers and rainbows.
Mirandas.
The sun shone all the time and there was loads of that goody-goody, lovey-dovey good people stuff going on.
Bambi, Justin Bieber.
The alliance of abominably good people lived in unearned wealth and prosperity.
Isto é sério, quem? As princesas do além? Não?
But there was a path leading to a different place there.
Ah, sério, God.
At the end of this path was a rock.
Havia uma
There was a
rocha.
cave carved in this rock in which the absolute evil lived. It wasn't a grubby, damp cave smelling of muck and mildew,
Yeah.
but a deep, dark dungeon, so dark that even darkness itself was afraid of it. It was home to numerous innocent monsters who enjoyed a happy, contented existence in complete
With the nice
harmony with their environment. But time and again, the sickening, sweet-smelling good visited this underworld in search of treasure and experience points. Many monsters found this to be the death of them, but much worse, the absolute evil's treasures were being stolen.
Ok.
One day, just as a few more heroes had finished plundering its dungeon, the absolute evil decided it had had enough, and decided to do something new, something quite monstrous. Go to the surface.
Well,
The Alliance tried to resist, but the approaching horde just flowed over them like an angry wave of axes, teeth, and bad breath. After numerous unrelenting battles, the absolute evil finally stood before the Alliance's capital, King's Ending.
so nice, my friend. Ah, falta loading. Ei, mas eu vou ter louco. Sou o senhor do mal. Uau. Ah, carrega lá isso. Ah, ok.
After counter, the forces of the absolute evil reached the Alliance capital, King's Ending.
Olha,
The
só
lovable
atacar, mano.
remnants of the forces of good had come here to make ready for the final battle. Evil would pay a high price indeed to storm those fortress walls, or so they thought. Suddenly, a rumble rose from deep within the earth. Stones burst asunder, revealing an ancient path into the depths.
Ok.
Out of the depths of Stygian darkness
nice.
arises the invincible evil. With earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable evil began its trek towards the front.
Lá vou eu.
In the terribly improbable
Ah,
event
tenho que chegar a uma
that
fonte
forgotten
que
how
está para aqui
it
agora.
works, a formidable help function has been provided.
Oh, nice, mano. Estou para tudo podre. É pico, meu.
Even the forest could not withstand the aura of the ultimate evil, and beat a hasty retreat.
Oh, tenho teca, já tenho.
A few
Experimentar
of
aqui
the
ao pé.
Alliance units had entrenched themselves.
Ah, não, deixa com isso.
A determined absolute evil marched towards them in order to strike them down with its mighty weapon.
Oh, my friend. Olha, está ali qualquer coisa. E está ali cena qualquer.
The absolute evil had discovered a medal. These
A medal.
medals ensured a creature could be made even more powerful. Only one downside. The creature could only wear one at a time. Eyes ablaze with greed, the insidious evil gazed upon the blood-drenched battlefield. Here the last defenders of good would die, and an age of evil begin.
Ok. Ó, que parece o rei do mal.
Projectiles from the Alliance's catapults darkened the sky.
Oh,
But the
nice.
Horde's fighting skills were at their best in darkness, if they survived.
Estou a destruir tudo, mãe.
Defeating good was as easy as taking candy from a baby.
Limpa tudo.
Unstoppable evil.
Ah, vem daí, ó. Mata tu, tá. Tá para aquela coisa, não estava? Tá aqui. Uma poção de vida. Vou aqui. Vou acabar com isto. Ah, vai se tomar no cu, ó.
Never had a chance against the absolute evil.
Claro que não. Sou o senhor da desgraça, mano. Vamos destruir esta bodega. Oh, so nice.
The absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the east with the greatest of ease. Now, only one
Estamos a jogar simples, mas isto também é o tutorial.
Absurdly evil.
A minha ordem está a ouvir por baixo desta bosta. Uma gaja falando. É isso, manda aí pedrinha, depois é que te fartas, ó filha mãe.
The absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the west with the greatest of ease. The defenders in front of the city had been beaten to a pulp and
olha aqui, tutoriais, que eu não estou a ver. Spawning buildings, ok, aparece aqui no minimapa, ok, aqui. Como atacar os outros, ok, e aqui é o tipo de coisas que eu posso escolher. Yeah.
The city gate was firmly barricaded by the Alliance's archers, but the absolute evil would not allow itself to be held up by such a ridiculous impediment. So, go get them! Destroy them now! Oh yes, sorry, stay in character.
Ali.
The absolute evil used its all-powerful magic to eliminate the archers and open the gate to the city. Using its legend,
Okay.
wait for it,
Era fácil.
very powers. The absolute evil destroyed the impediment with ease and simultaneously eliminated the whole group of defenders.
Aí, mano.
The road to the capital was now clear. The absolute evil did not hesitate for even 1 nanosecond. The insidious evil entered King's Ending. A small, pitiful group of defenders stood in its way. Suddenly,
Ah, pá,
the
vai
doors
sempre.
of several
Olha o
houses
castelo, maninho.
and with a loud roar,
Castelo já
defenders
foi.
bore down on the rather surprised.
Despechei isto aqui, ó. Tudo fora. Não dá para destruir isto também? Não, fora. Ah, destruir também as casinhas. Já vou ter contigo. Anda lá. Oh, radiacho. Estamos a jogar fácil. Mas isso também... Easy peasy, leva-me uns easy.
Crushed the defenders.
Ok?
King's Ending had been defeated. At least, that's what it thought. Suddenly, the final heroes of the Alliance emerged from nowhere. Another ambush? Now, this was... But wait. This time it was different. Instead, the heroes raised their hands and started singing an incomprehensible chant. A magical ritual?
Começaram a cantar uma bosta qualquer em que eu não se percebeu o que eles estavam dizendo.
Good things, great things, unless you happen to be the absolute evil.
Eu não quero. Vitória, continuar. Playing.
The last
New
remaining
Wave.
heroes of the country joined forces and cast a powerful banishment spell.
Tentar-me banir.
The
Ok.
absolute evil disappeared from sight with a threatening gesture, and a faint whispered,
I'll be back.
coming. The absolute evil had been banished, and its essence shattered into several pieces. Its reign of terror had ended.
Já
The
aparece.
overworld rejoiced,
Outra vez.
and an era of peace began for the Alliance. The evil
Uma
creatures
mensagem
were
de
driven
graças.
back into the underground, doomed to serve as cannon fodder for pleasure-seeking
De...
adventures.
Minha foge, minha...
Meanwhile, secreted away in the world's
Olha.
most inaccessible places, the last remains of the absolute evil were resting,
Olha,
never
meus
again
amigos.
to see the light of the overworld.
É.
Until today, that is. Somewhere deep under the earth, the ultimate evil awoke.
Quem? Eu? Fui eu que acordei. Tão bom. Olha um pigmeu. Bom. O jogo à superfície é tipo... Como é que é dizer? Quem jogou já Império da Terra sabe como é que é. E muitos outros jogos que vieram depois do Império da Terra. Que é batalhar até xeringar tudo. Conquistar teta. Carrega bem. Não, quando eu penso que a bolinha senão vai bloquear. Não faças isso. Please, carrega. Tens um macaco no nariz. Está a escorrer, olha, está a escorrer o macaco. Tem pelos dentes. Olha, lembeu. Não. Um bocado de vela. Estou-me a queimar. Foi então que cresceu este pepino que chamado nariz. Olha, está a carregar. Estão os breaks malados. Não sei porquê. Tenho que ver o que se passa, que isto está-me a querer irritar, tipo não sei quando. Entretanto, peraí. Está a dormir. Se durante alguma das minhas gravações vocês ouvirem um miado, é meu gato.
Controlled by the ultimate evil.
Olha uma mão. Tenho mão. Tem mão.
Come on, hand of terror, arise, damn you!
Ok.
Methinks that exploring the surrounding area would be a sensible strategy. However, to do this, light would be required.
Ok. Estadas tão épico.
Still not bright enough. An old throne room was revealed by the light.
Oh, sua
The
mão.
circumstances remained a mystery.
Ok.
The hand of terror flew through the throne room, following each and every thought the
okay.
ultimate evil had.
Ok.
After a few flying sessions, the ultimate evil was able to control the hand with ease. The time had come to call forth creatures who were completely devoted to it and would do its dirty work. Little snots were the dregs of each and every dungeon and spent their time taking care of it. The expansion-mad evil hired one snot on the spot. The first little snot appeared. It was completely ready to work in the dungeon and to crawl in the dust before the ultimate evil. Little snots were important to the ultimate evil because they took care of many important little things.
Alright. Completion points, okay. Higher little snot, okay.
The psionically gifted evil could sense the presence of something important that was buried to the south. It instructed its little snots to dig in that direction. As quick as a fart, the little snot made his way to the marked position and began to dig.
Oh boy. Oi. Aqui, boy. Tenho que desbloquear as coisas para tu martelares. Tão boi que tu és. Posso mandar vir mais um? É que assim leva uma eternidade.
Behold, the creatures of the overjoyed evil had apparently been much more industrious than it had thought.
Money, money, money.
A great dungeon was revealed behind the wall. Everything was already in place. Doors, traps, filled treasury. But wait, treasury? And where, if you please, is this treasury? Oh well. One can't expect too much of these mindless little snots. First of all, some gold had to be dug out to make space for a treasury to be created. The hand of terror swiftly marked a few small gold veins so that the little snots could excavate them.
Esse aqui. Vai, toca a trabalhar. Tens aí um. Ajudei, ó, boi. Exatamente. Vá, dê dinheiro ao pai. Porque a gente não tem dinheiro. Precisamos de dinheiro. Tá chato, como é que eu vou abrir isto? Só posso colocar estas bostas. E não posso arrebentar isto. Já está.
As soon as the gold vein was selected, a little snot immediately set out to mine valuable gold for the greedy evil.
Tenho que comprar mais um. Bora. Vai. Aqui há mais qualquer coisinha. Aqui também. Vá, para destruir isso tudo. Encham-me de dinheiro. Quero muito. Bota. Como é que eu vou destruir isto? Ok. Se destrói tudo. Tá. Há mais outra. Isso, destrói.
Once most of the gold had been mined, the Hand of Terror quickly created a treasury on the spot so that the precious metal could be safely stored. The clever evil mastered this task with flying colors. From now on, little snots could use the treasury to store mined gold. It was then at the greedy evil's disposal whenever more rooms needed to be built or new creatures recruited. Little snots were all well and good, but were too weak and cowardly to defend the dungeon. Since it was not able to defend itself, the ultimate evil would have to hire some orcs. But they would require food. Liquid food. Well, big. So the next important thing to build was a brewery. And that would require some space to be created.
Yeah.
The ultimate evil had the feeling that its servants were not really putting their backs into the work. Might a hearty slap from the Hand of Terror change that?
Cofres. Estou a coletar, filho. Oh, não tem mais dinheiro. Estou me enchendo de dinheiro. Olha, o gajo esperto. Está com alguém cena. Isso, dormem quando houver tempo. Agora não há tempo.
There was now an area cleared for the brewery site, and with quick finger snaps from the Hand of Terror, the room stood ready. The feisty evil's little snots dug up a spider's nest, thereby preempting some of my stories. Since there were no powerful fighting units in the dungeon, it was advisable for everyone to keep very, very still for the time being. Excellent. But the recently built brewery lacked a brewing copper. With a sigh of resignation, the overworked evil set about taking care of that too. The hard-working evil effortlessly built a brewing copper, so that delicious beer could be brewed as soon as possible.
Ok,
started working on the brewing.
Só coisas aqui, meu.
The nostalgic evil banished all thoughts of October. But there's some brass band.
Isto aqui.
Those would.
Para. As coisas do Turo chegam a ser irritantes.
Had to be completed first. Both beer and gold were now available in the dungeon, so it was time to hire some creatures to defend against greedy heroes or whatever else snuck around underground. At present, it was only simple orcs declaring undying loyalty to the ultimate evil. The rest of the horde was scattered to the winds. Orcs were defensive, close combat specialists, capable of dealing with many opponents. However,
money.
vulnerable to ranged attacks. It's payday. An eerie gong rang through the halls. It did not bode well for the ultimate evil's treasury stocks, for at each sounding of the gong, the creatures would collect their undeserved wages. However, there was little it could do about this, as it was chained to the throne. Thus it had to give free rein to its servants' desires, for the time being at least. The dungeon of the expansion-mad evil grew and prospered, but unfortunately, it had reached the maximum possible population it could
Daqui, mano.
manage. Now a creature would have to be thrown into the bottomless pit before any others could be brought.
Exatamente. Aqui mais um. Anda. Rapidez da outra. Comprar mais. Era para comprar. Dismissal in order more population. Como é que eu faço isso?
The spiders dropped like flies. The strategically well-versed evil patted itself on the back, proud that it had led its troops into battle with such aplomb. And by led,
Olha.
I just simply mean chucking them at the enemy.
Toma lá, mano.
The basics of a dungeon were now in place. However, the brewery was puny and didn't really have room to store beer barrels in, and the treasury was also anything but impressive in size. Quickly,
Claro
the
que sim, mano.
hungry evil set out to enlarge its dungeon.
Olha aqui, cheio de guita, mano. Ostentação. Não falta fazer isto aqui. Bom pessoal, espero que tenham gostado do vídeo. É um jogo bastante interessante para mim, eu gosto. Estou a pensar em trazer mais 2 ou 3. Cala-te, boi. Boi.
We interrupt this game for a short commercial message. Buy
Mas os
games
jogos.
from Calypso. Lots of games.
Pronto.
Thank you.
Thank you. Eu vou também interromper. Pronto, assim é melhor. Bom pessoal, espero que tenham gostado deste jogo. Deixem o vosso like, partilhem nas nossas redes sociais, inscrevam-se. Deem o vosso feedback sobre este jogo, o que é que acharam. Por enquanto a gente ainda está no submundo, mas talvez daqui a mais... quando a gente tiver frota um bocado melhor, vamos à superfície e vamos conquistar qualquer coisinha. Portanto, não percam o próximo episódio e até...